A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a dramatic late-night session on Saturday, Senate Republicans narrowly cleared a crucial procedural hurdle in their push to advance President Donald Trump's extensive package of tax breaks, spending cuts, and increased funding for deportations, all aimed at meeting a July 4th deadline. The vote concluded with a tight tally of 51 to 49, with Vice President J.D. Vance present at the Capitol to break a potential tie. The atmosphere in the chamber was fraught with tension as the voting process was stalled for over 3 hours, during which time holdout senators engaged in intense negotiations and private discussions off the Senate floor. Ultimately, 2 Republican senators joined their Democratic colleagues in opposing the motion to proceed, illustrating the divisive nature of the proposed legislation. Senate Majority Leader John Thune of South Dakota emphasized the urgency of passing the bill, stating, "It's time to get this legislation across the finish line." The White House echoed this sentiment, releasing a statement expressing strong support for the bill. Meanwhile, President Trump was reportedly at his golf course in Virginia, but by the end of the night, he had begun pressuring holdout senators, particularly targeting Senator Thom Tillis of North Carolina, who voiced concerns over significant Medicaid cuts that could jeopardize health care for many in his state. The legislation, referred to as the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, stretches over 940 pages and was released just before midnight on Friday. Senators are now expected to engage in extensive debate and amendments throughout the weekend. If successful in the Senate, the bill will return to the House for a final vote before reaching the president's desk. Given the narrow Republican majorities in both chambers, party leaders are acutely aware that they need near-unanimous support from their members. A new analysis from the Nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, CBO, warned that the Senate bill could result in an additional 11.8 million people being uninsured by 2034. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer criticized the Republicans for unveiling the bill in the dead of night and rushing its passage before the public fully understands its implications. He forced a full reading of the bill, which could take hours, further extending the debate. This weekend's session is pivotal for Trump's party, which has invested significant political capital in this key domestic policy initiative. The legislation aims to make many of the tax breaks from Trump's first term permanent, while also introducing new tax incentives, including eliminating taxes on tips. However, the proposed cuts to Medicaid, food assistance, and green energy investments have sparked dissent among GOP lawmakers. Republican senators such as Rand Paul of Kentucky have expressed opposition to certain provisions, including a proposed $5 trillion increase in the national debt limit. Meanwhile, conservatives concerned about the national debt are advocating for steeper cuts, leading to further divisions within the party. As the roll call approached, Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska was seen in discussions with party leaders before ultimately voting to proceed with the bill. The bill's initial draft faced scrutiny from the Senate parliamentarian, who reviewed its compliance with the Byrd Rule, which restricts policy matters and budget bills unless they can secure 60 votes. This has posed challenges for Republicans, who have experienced setbacks with several proposals deemed non-compliant. However, they have since revised these proposals and reinstated them in the final text of the bill. The current version includes a proposal for cuts to the Medicaid provider tax, which has raised concerns among lawmakers regarding the impact on rural hospitals. Additionally, the CBO's analysis indicates that the House-passed version of the bill could lead to 10.9 million more people lacking health coverage and at least 3 million fewer qualifying for food assistance. The Senate's draft also includes a compromise on the SALT deduction, a key issue for lawmakers from high-tax states, but it remains unresolved. The current cap is set at $10,000, with some Republicans advocating for an increase to $40,000. The final draft proposes a $40,000 cap but limits it to 5 years. House Speaker Mike Johnson has sent his colleagues home for the weekend but remains on standby for any developments requiring their return to Washington. As the weekend progresses, the fate of Trump's ambitious legislative agenda hangs in the balance, with GOP leaders working tirelessly to secure the necessary votes for passage. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.